Community Chronicles Radio, brought to you weekly by the Erie Higher Education Council, promoting lifelong learning to empower individuals, produce a competitive workforce, and enhance the community's quality of life. Through this mission, which serves as our constant reminder, the Erie Higher Education Council wants to highlight the Erie area's entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial ecosystem drivers. Welcome to Community Chronicles Radio. I want to make a note because I know we have a phone call coming in today. If you have been on this show and you have updates to whatever you're doing, I would consider you part of the Community Chronicles Radio family. So if you want to call in at any time during any of the shows and let us know what's going on, I encourage that. So we hope to hear from some of our people, and I know one's calling in today. If you have a question for us or any of our guests, the number here at the studio is 814-679-1080. I am Dr. Matthew Plotz, and with me today, as always, is our excellent co-host, Steph Screws. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Matt.
How's things in Erie?
Oh, they're good. You know, the sun was out, then all of a sudden it went away, but I'm sure it'll be back. Otherwise, it looks nice today. It's going to be a great day.
It's supposed to be really nice, and these are the days that we look forward to living in Erie or the Erie area.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Steph, this journey with this show that we've been through, this is the 13th show. 13 shows we've been at this, and it's kind of hard to believe. I saw Jordan Fuller last night, and I said, hey, Jordan, you've been out of Entre Radio 814 for 13 shows, and we stepped in right after that. And at first, I was a little nervous, but I'm glad that we took a shot at this, and I'm glad that both of us got a chance to come back to what we had with our radio career roots.
Yes, exactly.
So, you know, I don't know if I've mentioned it on the show. I always wanted to be a radio DJ, and this kind of gave me my shot at it. So it's been a good adventure, and it's something that we're looking forward to. We do have a change in sponsor for next week, and we're excited about that with the Erie Technology Incubator with Brad Gleason over at Gannon and Kathy Roach. So the sound of the intro and everything will change a little bit, but it'll still be kind of the same thing that we're doing, and we're interviewing Erie area's entrepreneurs. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that will be awesome.
So today, through that contact, Brad Gleason and the folks over at Gannon, we have Paul McMahon with a new product called Kivo. I'll let him kind of describe what it is and what he's trying to do. But anyone that knows me well knows that I like my coffee, and I don't like anything else in it. And before we got started on the show today, Paul provided a sample of what he's doing. This coffee tastes really good. So I'm excited to introduce what he's doing and talk a little bit about it. So I guess.
Sorry.
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 Was there a bird outside or something?
No, I'm sorry. I was just going along and you threw me off. It's okay.
No, that's all right. Let's just get to the guest. Nobody wants to hear this. I'd like to welcome to the show Paul McMahon. Welcome, Paul.
Hello. Thank you, Matt.
Yes, Paul.
Steph as well. Yeah, this is really great to be on here. Just thanks for having me to get a chance to present this product. And so, yeah, cold brew coffee. I really love it because no heat. It produces this really smooth taste. Because of that no heat, there's no acidity, and I can drink it black, and a lot of people prefer it that way. But kind of like the problem with it, though, is there's just not many options to make cold brew coffee. Like normally you need like this weird kind of coarse grinds, and there's just not a lot of options, or you got to pay a lot of money at the store. So that just kind of bugged me, and I was just, why can't we just use regular coffee? So I just have a couple products. I've been working on them for going on 4 years now. It's kind of crazy how long it's been. And so what first kind of product I have is just a basket where you can just put regular grounds in it. Any kind of grounds that you get at the store will work in this, and you'll get that great tasting cold brew coffee. And it's no heat. So heat is replaced with time. So you kind of have to let it sit a little longer, but put it in there the night before you go to bed. It's ready to go in the morning. Or you can do it like every 24 hours. So really it's just a couple minute process. But I promise you, for anyone out there that has not tried cold brew yet, please give it a shot and try to drink it black just so you have a baseline to compare it to. I promise you it'll be the smoothest black coffee drink you've ever had. And besides the basket, I also have a K-Cup brewer. So you can pretty much use any K-Cup that's out there. Last time I checked, there's over 400 different kinds. And with the K-Cup brewery I have, you can use either 1 or 2 K-Cups, put it in the mug that I'm going to provide, same thing, let it sit overnight, and you'll get your cold brew coffee. And the real benefit to that, I just see people, hey, I want to try this kind of coffee today. I want to try something else tomorrow. K-Cups last for a while because they're preserved well. And so that just gives you a chance to have that true cold brew taste. And if you're just trying to be a little bit healthier, and if you're like me, you're trying to maybe kick that habit of drinking too much soda or energy drinks, this is just a way to get that natural kind of caffeine alternative, and you can still keep powering through the day with whatever you want to do. So that's what I have here, just a couple products trying to simplify cold brew coffee for everybody.
So we'll get to a few more questions. Hold on, Steph.
Okay.
Producer Joel is telling me that one of our family members from previous shows is on the phone. So Margaret, I believe from the Spice Sisters, is on.
Good morning.
Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Well, I'm doing fine. I'm getting ready for our little event, the Wings Over Erie, and Matthew said, I should give you all a call and let you know about it, and tell you again that we're coming to town. We're going to be at the Erie Ale Works on June 22nd from 12 until, 2, 3 o'clock. And we're going to have 7 different kinds of wings with our 7 different spices, everything from hot to not. We're going to be making those jumbo wings with, I think we have like 4 different sides and 2 different desserts, and we're going to be giving out samples of our sauces. And we're hoping everybody will, go on Allegheny's Marketplace or spicesisters.com to get their tickets, because it's the sort of event that I need to know who's coming,
Right.
So we can, we're not a restaurant. It's just a special event just to give people a taste, and it's going to be really special, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Working with Jeff over at Erie Ale Works, you have a real thing going on there, and we'd like to try to push that for you a little bit, and that's why I asked you to call in today. So tell the listeners one more time where they can get those tickets for June 22nd, noon to 3 at Erie Ale Works.
You just go to spicesisters.com, and on the website, I'm sorry. What you do is you go to you go to Allegheny's Marketplace, or if you go to our Facebook, you'll see it, and that is Spice Sisters Cafe. So we're on Facebook and Instagram at Spice Sisters Cafe, and that will have a link right to Allegheny Marketplace. And that's where you can find us and find the tickets.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, Margaret, and we hope that people get to that website and buy those tickets to see you on June 22nd over at Erie Ale Works. Thank you, Margaret.
Well, I hope so. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. Have a great day.
You as well.
Bye-bye.
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 So, Steph.
All right. So now we're going to go back to Paul, right?
Yeah, yep. Go back to Paul and,
All
and
right.
a few of the questions we have about the Kivo project.
Yes, and you've been talking a little bit about your project. I was going to say, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you want to design such a product.
Yeah, sure. So I kind of started in the military. For me, my kind of love of coffee, and I did a couple deployments to Afghanistan, and that's just that was our fuel to keep going. When you're deployed over there, there's really no such thing as off. You could be working at all hours in the day, but one thing was for sure, a pot of coffee was always brewing somewhere. And a lot of times we did not have cream or sugar. We just had coffee. And I drank it because it was just, that was our chance to kind of drink with the guys and kind of camaraderie. And then, of course, when you're working and doing something. But I never really enjoyed black coffee very much. Hot coffee, black hot coffee. So and I just drank it because I needed it, and I liked kind of being there with everybody. But then after I got out of the military, did like 6 years, I became a science teacher. And I was always just had a passion for science and learning. And even in the military, I feel like I chose the most science job you could. I did explosive ordnance disposal. So basically, we took care of the bombs, so IEDs, improvised explosive devices. We used robots and stuff like that to collect evidence and take care of them. So I just really enjoyed the science behind it, learning about all the different ordnance and the fuses and how they worked. So I got out. I wanted to kind of bring that passion for learning, and then also kind of the responsibility and discipline that I learned from the military to the classroom. And I had a great time with that. I mean, I absolutely loved teaching. I did taught for a total of 10 years, all kinds of subjects: physics, chemistry, environmental science. I started a robotics program down where I was at Hermitage, and the school didn't have, Kennedy Catholic didn't really have one, so I raised a bunch of money, 40,000, got CNC machines, 3D printers, computers. We designed robots, competed in competitions, and then I started to learn computer-aided design, which is basically a program where you can design things and then print them in real life. And I'm like, why can't I do this? COVID hit, and I had a little free time on my hands, and my friend and I from college, we were both physics majors, and we're like, hey, we can try to figure something out. Let's try to invent something. And he had a list of things, and I had a list of things, and we just kind of went back and forth to decide which one we were going to go. Like, we think this one has the most opportunity. And been 4 years since, a couple 3D printers down the road, and a trademark, and working on a patent, and trying to get this product launched. And it's been quite I never knew it was going to be this difficult, and but it's been rewarding. I've really been able to learn things about cold brew, but that I feel like no one else ever has. And it's been kind of an exciting process.
Wow, that's a lot. It's amazing to me how so many things came out of COVID. Like, a lot of people had so much downtime. They're like, hey, why don't we, start up this or do this? And now, did you start this? Did you design it using a 3D printer? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so I used a computer and then the CAD. So it's basically SolidWorks software to where you can design it, and then you can then take that design, copy it to like a USB drive, and then print it on a 3D printer. So, I mean, I encourage anybody out there, actually. There's free programs if you ever, and 3D printers are cheap these days. I mean, they're just a couple $100. I mean, anybody could do this, and it's fascinating that you can literally start from nothing, design it, and then see your product that never existed before in the world come to real life on a 3D printer. Like, it's really an amazing experience.
It does sound amazing, because I've thought about that. I've heard other people using 3D printers for all sorts of things. I mean, for the one that I was kind of fascinated with, because I'm a big Star Wars fan, is people making like Star Wars helmets with a 3D printer. So I'm like, ooh, I could make my own Star Wars helmets or something like that. Right. I don't know, but it is amazing what you can do with technology now, and you don't even need a big startup cost. But so you started a Kickstarter campaign to help get this off the ground. How could listeners help with that?
Yeah, so to transition from 3D printing to mass.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, tell us that.
It's good. Okay.
Yeah, to transition from 3D printing to mass manufacturing, it like takes the tooling is very expensive. It's quite a bit, and in order to do that, I'm raising the funds to kind of help with part of it, and I am going to work with George Co. right here out of Erie, Pennsylvania. I mean, I've called all around the country, and then pretty much most manufacturers, a lot of them don't want to work with startups because it's a big risk. They got to kind of disrupt their current operations, and they don't know if it's going to work out. It's a big risk. And then I call around all around the country. No one was really all that interested. And if they were, they wanted some ridiculous $500,000 kind of price where they wanted robotics to automate, because I have like mesh screen that will go in here and needles, and they wanted robots to do that instead of like a person inserting it. So it was crazy expensive. So I'm like, all right, I'm a veteran. I really wanted this to be made in the USA, but I got to start somewhere. So I started calling China, got offers in there, And like, man, I still never gave up on the U.S. And it just so happened, I just networking, talking to people. There's like different manufacturing associations. They're like, hey, have you reached out to George Co. out of Erie, Pennsylvania? And I'm like, no, I have not, but that would be absolutely incredible. That's where I grew up. That's my hometown. It's like that would be a dream come true to get this thing made in Pennsylvania when I've called all over the country and China, and they can do it for as cheap as China. So, but I still gotta get the funds, and I'm just trying to see if people can help with that a little bit. It's not that it's not really a donation. So if people aren't aware of what a Kickstarter is, you're still gonna get the product. It's just gonna be down the road a little bit, like maybe 6 months down the road. So I gotta get all the funds first, and then I gotta get the tooling made, so then we can mass produce the product. So I'm trying to raise $10,000. Not again raise, but you're gonna get the product down the road. And I'm about 6,000 out of 10,000 raised, and the campaign is over in about 10 days. It's been a 30-day long campaign. It's over in about 10 days. So if anyone's out there, if you just want to back it, every little bit counts. You'll get a great product. If you've never had cold brew, I mean, here's your chance. It's easier now than ever before. No kind of special grinds. You can use any kind of coffee out there.
So if listeners want to help, can they just go to like your website, or do you have a Facebook, or how can they find where to help you out at?
Yeah, thank you, Steph. All those places, but probably the easiest might be just go to Kickstarter itself, like literally just Google Kickstarter. And then up at this, there's a search bar. You could either type in, just cold brew is the easiest. And it should say Kivo Cold Brew Simplified. If you go to Kickstarter, type in cold brew, and then there's a video of me, and actually there's a video of George Co. Manufacturing where it's going to be made. And if people don't, it was one of the places where it's really easy to go. You could just go to kevobrew.com, KEVOBREW.com, and there's also a Kickstarter link that goes right to the page.
Okay.
This is really great, and what I see on the Kickstarter site is an explanation of everything from what you've talked about in the process and everything. I don't know if we talked about it on here. We've been talking about the product for a bit, but you had mentioned before the show got started that there is a gas that's produced.
Yes.
And your product kind of deals with that in an interesting way. I guess my question is what kind of flavor, is it off flavors if you leave that gas in, and how are you doing this product to mitigate that issue?
Yeah, thanks for asking that as well, because I really love talking the science behind it. And so cold brew is there's no heat. And a lot of people don't realize that there's trapped gases inside of the coffee. When you roast that bean, carbon dioxide gets trapped in there. Well, gases don't really mix all that well with water. So unless you get the gases out, it won't brew correctly. And with hot or even iced coffee is just hot coffee that's been cooled down. So it doesn't taste all that great either, black. But if you don't get rid of those gases, it won't brew. So during these 4 years of testing, during 3D printing, it seems so easy now when I look at it or when someone else looks at it. But we figured out a way, basically, just a little bit larger slits on top of the device to allow these gases to escape. And as soon as you get rid of these gases, because it's got to occur naturally. With cold brew, there is no electricity, there is no heat. So we had to find a way naturally to get rid of these gases. So we figured it out, these larger kind of slits that allow the gases out. Once you get them out, the cold brew can just take place naturally. And it's just like a cyclical flow. Coffee comes out the bottom, fresh water goes in top, and it's almost like a hot drip machine compared to a French press, if anyone has kind of compared the two. Where a hot drip machine, the water is only touching the coffee for just a little bit, whereas a French press, it's kind of soaking in there for a while. So two different kind of tastes, but most people prefer like the drip because it's just a little bit of a lighter, fresher, but you still get all the caffeine. And so that's what my kind of product does. It's the water's only touching the coffee for just a little bit. It concentrates it out the bottom, and then fresh water comes in and the process starts over. So you just get a really smooth tasting drink, compared just like the hot drip, but without the acidity and bitterness.
So the great thing about this is that I was talking to you about this before the show, and my fiance really loves cold brew. I think she likes it better than hot coffee. But she goes to the store, Walmart or other places, and finds a Starbucks iced coffee. And you said the big downside of that is it is not fresh. So
Absolutely, and I just always, yeah, I know it's hard to do, but I always encourage people to try to do a side by side comparison, and it's just weak, it's just flat, and it's almost like a flat pop. If everyone buys kind of coffee, I mean, I do it too. I mean, sometimes we're in a rush or we're in a bind, and I mean, I know if I don't even have my coffee now, I get a headache. I gotta have my coffee, so I'm there with you. But I just kind of encourage people. I mean, fresh is always better. And I mean, even K cups, they're fresh. I mean,
Yeah.
probably people don't, they stay fresh for a long time. And I know they kind of have a bad rap, but I mean, biodegradable K cups are coming, and things are turning better that way. But just yes, things in the store is not fresh. I promise you can taste the difference if you ever try.
I never thought of coffee being so scientific, but it's really interesting to listen to you talk about, the process and how passionate you are about it. And that's the really exciting part about it, being passionate about something and wanting to make something that people will enjoy and use. And that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
So, can you give us another plug about how people can help with this project if they'd like to?
Yeah. Yep. If anyone's out there, just almost there, just a little bit more help would be great. Especially, just again, it makes me so proud that I'm here right now in my hometown. Even though I'm just a little bit away, I live in Hermitage. That's where my wife's from. We settled down there, but still, it just makes me happy every single time I come to Erie because this is where I grew up and I love this city. But so kivobrew.com is the website, and then there's a Kickstarter link that will take you right there, or you can just Google Kickstarter and search cold brew. And you can also find Kivo that way. And the lowest, if you just want to do a little bit, the lowest tier is only $32. So if you $32 is the lowest tier.
So one of the things I find interesting, and you have videos of this, is that you this is portable. You take this with you to the golf course, and you're not carrying. I put my coffee in a container. I take it with me. It cools off. It's not exactly great. It doesn't taste as good as you're going. You can take this entire thing to the golf course, and when you're ready to have your coffee, you can brew it right then.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of what I love about it, and it's no extra kind of man-made involved. Meaning, you don't need electricity, you don't need power, you don't need nothing. It's purely just the physics and the chemistry of just the natural world. Just put some water in there, put some coffee in there, get the gases out, don't let the grounds escape, and just let kind of nature do its thing. And I mean, I love to camp. I love being outdoors. So you don't need anything. Just you need this and some coffee, and you'll have some great tasting coffee. I believe truly the way it was meant to be in that cold. Yeah.
So the story that you told, it's so funny that like where you are and the time in the place when you start drinking coffee, it kind of dictates how you like your coffee. When I started drinking coffee, I was in college. First year of college, I thought I wanted to be an architect. That didn't work out because I'm not good at math, believe it or not. So there were a lot of late nights in the lab, and there was like this old crusty coffee pot there, and there was no cream or sugar. And it's like, well, I have to get this project done. I need some caffeine, and that is how I drank my coffee. So yeah, it's that how you drink your coffee is really interesting. So we're coming up on the 30-minute break for the news. We will have another guest here, Chase Rogan from 5 Iron Golf after that. So we hope you stick around. If you have questions for our guests or us, 814-679-1080. You call right into the studio. You are listening to Community Chronicles Radio on 103.3 FM, 105.9 FM, and 1530 AM. And as always, you can get us on the Corey Higher Education Council Facebook page or the Listen Live button at talkerie.com, which I found out this week is new. So you can listen to us there or any of those ways. Come back after the break. We'll talk to Chase Rogan. Welcome back to Community Chronicles Radio, brought to you weekly by the Corey Higher Education Council, promoting lifelong learning to empower individuals, produce a competitive workforce, and enhance the community's quality of life. I'm really excited to talk about this next venture. Right here in the heart of downtown Erie, we have a brand new 5-iron golf franchise. These franchises are located throughout the United States in some of the biggest cities, so we're excited to have it right here in Erie. If you haven't heard about this, you are in for a treat. Please welcome to the show, Chase Rogan.
Hello.
Yes, welcome, Chase.
Hi, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your decision to bring 5-iron golf to Erie, PA?
Yeah, so this is a project I've personally been working on for a long time, similar to Paul, probably a lot longer than I kind of expected to when I started, but this was a project I was actually trying to build in Pittsburgh when my wife and I were living there in 2017, 2018. And I built a mobile prototype of a golf simulator on a trailer, and I was taking it around to parties in Pittsburgh and testing the entertainment value. And I started talking to investors, never really got the money to build this in Pittsburgh. And then COVID came along in 2020, and I kind of put that dream on hold and became a science teacher, similar to our last guest, Paul. Moved back to Erie with my family. I grew up in Sagertown. My wife's from Erie, so we moved back closer to home to be closer to our families. And my business partner, Drew Whiting, was doing the same thing, moving from Chicago, moving back to Erie with his family. And he was familiar with my business plan and asked me if I wanted to do it here. So, we both love downtown Erie. Think it was the perfect spot to do this, near the bay, and to capitalize on kind of the tourism that comes through this area. And so when we found the building at 10th and State Street, we thought that was the perfect opportunity for us to build 5-iron in Erie.
Okay, so what are the options for someone who's interested in coming in?
Yes, we have a lot to offer guests who are interested in coming in to check out our space. First of all, we have beautiful mural art all over the walls. So, I think a lot of people think that we're just a golf simulator place, but we also have a full bar and kitchen. So when you walk in, most people really light up because there's bright, beautiful colors, neon lights, a lot of art and things like that. So you can expect a full bar and kitchen, 6 golf simulators powered by TrackMan technology. So we have over 280 golf courses you can play. We have a lot of practice options. If you're a golfer that's trying to improve your game, you can come in, take videos of yourself, collect data, send that data to yourself, and really nerd out on your golf game to try to improve it. Or we have other games like a Candy Crush style game where there are demolition cars at different distances, and you can duff one 5-10 yards, get points, blow up cars, and be engaged in the game. So we have games that are perfect for the avid golfer, but we also have a lot of games on our golf simulators that are perfect for beginners, kids, people that would consider themselves non-golfers. And then on top of that, upstairs we have a really big game room and event space. So in that game room, we have a multi-sport simulator that has baseball, hockey, dodgeball, bowling, foot golf, frisbee golf, hockey. So a lot of other options that aren't golf. We have a couple shuffleboard tables, some darts, some ping pong, some foosball, an air hockey table on the way. So we have a lot of different offerings for people that are just looking for a date night, a family night, some time by themselves, or just some time to build some community down at 5-iron.
That sounds awesome because I was thinking, when you think about one of those simulators, you're thinking, oh, I have to be good at golf or something. Like I myself have never, I think maybe I played one round of golf and I didn't know what I was doing. And it was just for fun with some other people. And or I did like miniature golf. That's about as much as I've done. But this sounds fun. Like you were talking about, there's so many different things that you can do. Besides, like I said, all the Candy Crush type of thing, or like you said, you just want a date night or some, time to just relax and downtime. Now, if somebody wants to, can they take lessons at the facility if they want to?
100%. We have director of golf, Brett Zenowicz. He's available for lessons. His information and availability should be up on the website. You can also call in and schedule a lesson that way. So we have resources to be able to give golf lessons in our simulators, and the simulators are, they have a lot of technology that we can leverage to give a really good lesson. Like I was talking about the cameras that we talked about, and we have a ton of data that gives you information about your golf club, the ball speed, things like that. So we have a really good facility to be able to give a really solid golf lesson.
That's awesome. What are some of the options for people? Can they book one day or several days at a time, or is there like a membership option?
Yeah, 100%. So we are a 100% public facility all the time to everyone. But we do have a membership option. We have room for about 100 members, and the golfing benefit for members allows you 90 minutes of sim time daily, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. So for those people that have a little bit of flex in their daytime work schedule, you have to come in about 3 times in the month to get your money out of the membership, but it also includes 20% off of food and beverage. You get a free swing evaluation. We got a breakfast bar with coffee set up, although might not be as good as Paul's coffee. And you get a free hoodie with that as well. So for an annual membership, we're at $125 a month, and for a monthly membership, we're at $149 a month. And so outside of that, the public can reserve sims as well anytime they want, up to 2 weeks in advance, and you'd go to 5iron.com, 5irongolf.com, excuse me, to reserve a base. You can reserve up to 2 weeks in advance online. You can call into our store locally here to reserve, and soon there will be a 5iron app that you'll be able to schedule through as well.
Okay, that's a lot of information. Wow.
So that kind of brings up a thing that has happened on the show, and as we talk about the ecosystem here in Erie, you said, the coffee might not be as good, but it would be a really cool thing down the line that once this is mass produced, that there's an opportunity for Paul to come in and have that product there. And that's kind of where, a lot of the sales can happen. Places like the cigar bar, just a couple doors down. People that smoke cigars tend to either like bourbon or beer or coffee, and they, that kind of goes together while you're there. So those opportunities in Erie, I think it's a lot of what brought these ideas to Erie and why it's doing so well.
Yeah, I think, local partnerships are huge, and, the local community, we felt the support from the local community, and we're excited to build, more partnerships with the community and see how we can all work together to make downtown Erie and the greater Erie, region, a thriving place like we all know it can be.
Yeah, I really believe in Erie for that reason. It seems like the people who are taking that leap into becoming an entrepreneur all kind of take care of each other, and it's really simple and easy here. And it's probably not as easy in some bigger cities. There's just a feeling here in Erie where that's an important piece of what we do. So I'm glad that you chose Erie and for the 5-iron golf. I think it's going to really start to pick up. I was telling Joel before we got going here, there's a lot of construction on state. There's a lot going on. It's all for progress sake. So hopefully when some of this gets cleaned up, things get a little cleaner and people can kind of matriculate to the 5-iron. How have you seen business so far since you've opened?
Yeah, we've been steady. I've been pretty happy with it. The biggest thing that I'm noticing is that when people come through the doors, they're just really amazed with the space, and that's just been really cool feedback to hear from the community. So we've been really busy on the weekends. Weekdays have been steady. So if you're looking for something to do during the week and you got a little bit of downtime, we rent simulator bays by the half hour. So you can come in if you have 30 minutes, get on a bay for a half hour, order a cocktail or maybe some boneless wings or some guacamole and chips, something like that, and enjoy yourself. And I promise those 30 minutes will fly by in no time.
So I have a question about me. I got rid of my clubs a while ago. It's been several years since I went golfing. When I was a kid, I used to go all the time. My friends would pile up in the car. We'd all go golfing. I was a terrible golfer. Terrible.
We all are.
So it's part of the reason I just set my clubs out by the curb. I was like, I'm done with this and I'm not going to come back. I have been thinking about it because when I became an executive director of a nonprofit, the people are like, well, you got to golf. Are you going to go golfing? And I'm like, nope, not going to do it. So my question is as somebody that may come back to it, I had a wicked slice. When you go in and you said a swing evaluation, can people kind of get a look at their swing and kind of realize what they might be doing wrong that makes it happen that way?
Yeah, 100%. I was just talking to Brett, our director of golf, the other day about this, because we have, the TrackMan technology provides you a million data points about golf. And unless you're, really versed in that world, you don't know what to do with a lot of that data. But what a lot of people love to look at is the video replay of them physically swinging the golf club, because we have cameras coming in front of you if you're right-handed, and then behind you, and then also what we call down the line. So it would be standing behind the hitter looking down the line that they're hitting down. So there's 3 different camera angles that you can see a replay of your golf swing. And usually, that's a pretty eye-opening moment for a lot of people. Like, wow, I don't look as good as I thought I did. So a lot of people tend to gravitate towards those video replays, and that's enough motivation to work on your game from there.
Yeah, I say this, my daughter plays softball, and so swings are, you kind of gravitate towards a natural place where it feels comfortable to you, but it might not be correct. And I think growing up and doing the things that I did, I went out golfing all the time, I developed some bad habits, and you don't realize you're doing it. Those are very hard to unlearn, but that video would be a fantastic thing to see. You can probably pick out the point where it's like, that's why it's over there in the woods or in the water.
Yep, 100%. It's always a work in progress, for sure.
I'm thinking now, I'm like, oh yeah, I did go to a driving range one time. It was fun, and I didn't realize how much of a workout it was, like for all the different muscles that you use that you never thought you had either. Because after going to the driving range, I was like, oh my gosh, why do I hurt there? Why do I hurt? I'm like, oh,
your obliques on the side, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it was fun. It was like a good stress relief, and I think I'd like to do the one where you're like, trying to get the balls and smash things, and have them explode. I think that would be a lot of fun. I never thought about going to a simulator, but now I think, oh, that might be fun. We'll have to try that out or head up there sometime.
It's been pretty cool to see the people that are, non-golfers that say they're non-golfers, and they're like, oh, we're going to give this a try. And then like an hour later, they're just having a blast and time's flying by, and they're thinking about extending their time. So to any of the non-golfers that question whether you can have fun on a golf simulator or not, I just challenge you to come down and give it a shot.
That's it.
So can you, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead, Steph.
I was just wondering, like the different, like you said, you have like murals up, or like the simulator, like can you choose like your own environment or your background, or how does that exactly work? Or maybe you described that before, but I was just curious again.
Yeah, so in the simulator, you can choose a bunch of different golf courses. We have Pinehurst number 2, which is the current venue for the U.S. Open that's being played this weekend. It's down in North Carolina. We have Pebble Beach, which is a very popular course out in California. And then over 250 other courses that are renowned golf courses. And then one of the other cool features on TrackMan is they have some of these AI courses. And these are some of the funnest courses to play, because it really doesn't, I'm not a software engineer, but I don't think it costs extra money to put rivers or mountains kind of wherever you want on a AI developed golf course. So the scenery in some of those AI courses is really cool. So yeah, you can select your golf course. You can select, where you're practicing, what type of practicing you're doing. And then you could also select, from a number of games. We have long drive contests close to the pin, things like that as well.
One of the great things about this, and if you go out golfing like I did, and I had that wicked slice, and it was always, off in the woods or in the water or everything, you're going through golf balls as you do that. This is, okay, you can kind of learn how to fix that swing, but you're not losing as many balls as well.
Yeah, one thing I can promise you is that you'll never have to wait on the group ahead of you.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll never lose your ball. It takes you right to it, no matter what kind of junk it's in. It takes you right to it. You might be looking at a tree branch for your next shot, but it takes you right to where your ball is. That's a nice feature.
It does sound like a lot of fun. Now, how much does it cost to go in the simulator?
Yep. So Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., we're priced at $45 an hour for the simulator. So you can have up to 6 people on a simulator, and that would be the total cost for the simulator. So if you have 6 people and you want to split it, you can absolutely do that. And on nights and weekends after 4 p.m., during weekday evenings, and then on the weekends, we're at $60 an hour.
Okay.
Another great thing here, Chase, is that the Erie area, we have a beautiful day today. Lots of people out on the course. You know, our weather kind of goes poorly for a good portion of the year, even through the spring, and we have a pretty good fall now. But this is great for the Erie area just because of that reason. If you want to keep up with your golf game, you can come in during the winter.
100%. In the winter, even your rainy days that might get rained out in the summertime. Last Sunday, we had a little bit of a rainy day, and it was pretty cool to see some golfers just trickle in throughout the day with their golf bags saying they didn't want to play in the rain. They Googled, found us, and came in to play for the day. So it's really cool to be an alternative option for when the weather is giving us a hard time here in Erie.
I could absolutely, you know, when I was younger playing with all my friends, we would have taken advantage of that. You know, oh, we're going to get rained out today. We can't go to the course. We drive to Erie and go ahead on the course. That's cool. I like that.
Yep, 100%. We're always open. We got long hours, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. during the week and 8 a.m. to midnight on the weekends. So we're usually available if you're jonesing to play some golf.
Wow, that's cool. You're open till midnight. So yeah, that's neat.
So we always like to kind of tell stories. You've been open for a short time. Tell us, do you have any stories about people that were coming in that could kind of maybe just a humorous story or kind of inform people about what happens when you come in? I know for myself coming into there, I would be okay, but I'd be a little bit nervous about what I'm looking at. And
yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know if this is a funny story, but one thing that I found interesting is that I don't think people understand that we're a public facility. Some of our advertising has talked about the memberships, and we do have that, obviously, but, you know, I'm trying to get the word out that we're a 100% public facility. Even people that are walking by, we have a roll-up garage door in the front of our facility at the end of our sim atrium, and people walk by and they look in and they see the mural art and the bricks and the simulators, like, wow, what is this? I'm like, 5-iron. They're like, can I come in? It's like, yeah, 100%. Come on in. Let's take a tour around. So I think it's more just like I'm surprised that people just don't understand that we're open, that we're a public facility. So, yeah, if you walk by and you see neon lights and lights on, which is likely to happen because we are open, come on in for a tour. We'd love to show you around and give you the lowdown on the whole space.
so in that instance where somebody may not have planned to come into 5-iron golf, are there clubs there that they can use?
100%. We have 2 sets of clubs at every bay for men and women. Then we have also left-handed clubs available, kids clubs available. And then we also have Callaway Golf as a partner of ours. So we have some Callaway clubs on hand that you can test out for free. It's not an additional cost. You just have to ask for them and we'll bring them over to you.
So yeah, that's a question I'm thinking about. Like with golf, I don't understand all the different kinds of clubs that you use. I mean, I'd be like, I don't know what kind of club to use for this. Now, do you use just one kind of club, or are you like a regular golf, game? Do you choose your different golf clubs? Yeah. I don't know. That's
yeah. No, that makes sense.
Different distances and everything.
Yeah, so we have a full range of golf clubs. Our sets that we have in the bays are kind of partial sets. So we stagger like every other iron. So you have a driver, a 3-wood, a 4-wood I know for our non-golfers, it's probably getting confusing, but then we have an array of irons going down from a 5-iron to a gap wedge. So there's plenty of tools in the toolbox to play your golf game. But yeah, depending on the game you're playing, you might use a driver to hit off of a tee, which would be, the club in the that would be the one that would go the furthest. That would be the club that you'd use to try to hit the ball the furthest. And then a wedge or a putter would be something that you'd use to chip the ball around the green or to hit at some of your shorter targets that might be 5, 10, 20 yards. And then there's putting games, even like, your traditional putt. We have a game called Streets of Neon that's a putt-putt game where the ball's going through kind of like a old school pinball machine.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
everything from your big driver club that you'd hit it a long ways to your putter, you can use in the simulators.
I like that. I imagine that would draw a lot of kids in, that might come with their parents and be able to play that putt-putt game.
Yep, we've had a decent amount of kids in the simulators, and they've all had a really good time. It's been pretty cool to see.
I know sometimes I've got on some PlayStation games where they have like, oh, let's go play golf, and I have no idea what I'm doing, and they're like, too hard or too, I don't know, and I get frustrated, and then I leave the golf thing. So hopefully that wouldn't happen here. I get they'd be like, you're doing it wrong,
I kind of understand what Chase is saying. Like, I wasn't very good at golf, so you buy a set of golf clubs, you have all these irons, and the bag is heavy. I ended up taking the even numbers out, just simply because it was lighter, and the difference between a 3-iron and a 4-iron, like, not, for me, it's not different. I'm not hitting that any differently. So, yeah, all the even numbers came out.
Yeah, I think for a lot of us who are, amateur players, we can get by with a few less clubs and, we'll be fine.
So Oh, go ahead, Seth.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you could give us a little bit more information on where we could find more information, if we wanted to. I think you probably already went over this, but once again,
we always give them one plug.
Yeah.
Near the end of the interview.
Yeah, so 5irongolf.com is the webpage for 5iron. We have a landing page on there that you can go. You can book a simulator time through. You can check out about memberships. We also have a big events offering. So if you're looking to host a birthday party, corporate event, holiday party, anything like that, bachelor party, anything, our events page is also on that website. You can come down and visit us. We're at 10th and State Street in downtown Erie. And we have a Facebook page and a LinkedIn page. And 5iron Golf is also on Instagram. So you can find us on social as well.
Great. Well, thank you, Chase. I'm going to try to get over my hesitation to come in and check out golf again. I was just so terrible at it. It was so frustrating. but if it can fix my swing and get rid of the slice, maybe I'll come back.
Can't wait to have you.
All right. So, Steph, I know we talked about it at the top of the show. This is the 13th show. So we have been at this for a quarter of a year. I feel like, it's been a process of learning, getting the guests and kind of filling in and doing what we do. It's been really great, but I want to highlight how, it's not going to change, when Gannon comes in with the Erie Technology Incubator. I want to make sure that the listeners know that, we're going to continue this format. We're going to be speaking with, the board members of the ETI along with other entrepreneurs in the area. So it'll still be the same format. We'll be talking about their products. And we're really excited to welcome Gannon as our primary sponsor. It occurred to me this morning, or maybe it was yesterday. I was listening to Joel's show, and we had our bumper, our sounder that came on, and sponsored by the Corey Higher Education Council. We'll have to get Shani on a new one for next week. It will not be us, so we'll get that done, and we're excited about that. One thing I wanted to note is producer Joel, who does a great job in here. He is performing this evening, opening night, as Nicely in Guys and Dolls down at the Erie Playhouse. So we're looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I have to switch the week that I go. I talked to Zach, and we're going to switch from this Saturday. We're going to try to make it next Saturday. So we'll see you down there. We're excited about that. If you don't have plans this weekend or next weekend, go down to the Erie Playhouse, get your tickets, and see producer Joel in Guys and Dolls. I'm really excited about it. I sat and I told my kids, I'm like, we're gonna go check this out, and they're like, what's it about? I'm like, you're gonna like it. It's a fun, exciting show, and my friend Joel's in it, so we're gonna go check that out, and we're excited about it. So if you get a chance, do that. Steph, we have a few classes coming up. It's getting summertime. We don't have as many classes. Can you tell us about any of the classes that we have coming up at the Corey Higher Education Council?
Yeah, coming up next week, we have Intro to West African Drumming. That will be on Juneteenth. It'll be this Wednesday. It's only $35, and you can register on our website or give us a call. Our website is www.coreyhyatt.org, or give us a call at 814-664-9405. And I think there's only a couple remaining spots left open for that. We also have something coming up called Jeep Hype. That'll be July's first Friday. That'll be to kick off the Jeep and Retro Car Extravaganza. That will be on July 3rd. That'll also be Wednesday, and this one's free.
Free, we like that.
Yeah, if you like Jeeps and you want to know more about Jeeps, make sure you sign up for that one. So, we have that coming up, and then we also have the 21st Century Girls coming up next week. I know our program coordinator, Kara Dahl, has been working really hard on this, and we've got all the girls coming for things going on all week long. They're going to be going on field trips. That's the name of it. All sorts of exciting stuff throughout the week.
Right up here to Erie in a lot of cases. So
yeah, so we are very excited to have that coming up as well, all week long. So we will have those girls in and working on. It's a program that's designed to help provide middle school girls with the opportunity to learn about careers in the field of science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So that'll be going on all week long as well. So
yeah, a lot of exciting stuff. Did you mention the using AI with PA Career Link?
Oh, nope, that's coming up as well, July 11th. Yeah, this is a workshop, provides participants with the knowledge necessary to craft resumes and cover letters using AI, and that will be on Tuesday. It starts at 1:30 to 2:30, right at the Corey Hyatt.
We got to wrap up, Steph. I'm getting the wrap-up sign from Joel. So I want to thank our guests today, Paul McMahon and Chase Rogan. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. I'm going to hit the dad joke real quick. This was hard. So, Chase, I shot one under at golf today. One under a tree, one under a bush, and one under the water. It was a slice every time. So thank you, guys. We appreciate you coming on. We'll see you next week with our new sponsor, the Erie Technology Incubator.